here's where this is going to go from like, that was really cool to, oh my good God. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it's time for another stocks up video. I've really been enjoying doing these. Kind of like helps flesh out what I'm talking about when I tell you like, hey, a champion moving up in the meta or down in the meta. We've talked about this a lot in the top 10 videos we've been doing. Mutant keeps getting buffed. It keeps being new mutants, buff mutants, they're defenders, they have defensive ass, and as a result, the tech class keeps being asked for more and more, which is cool. I'm really loving that. Now, here's the thing about Guardian, though, right? Is a lot of what I'm showing you is champions that are handling these new big bad mutant champions. Well, Guardian can handle a lot of them. I'm going to show that to you today, too. However, here's the thing. This guy's going outside the class wheel. He's always been good. If you're in the stocks up, stocks down, whatever we're going to call it, you have always been good. You've always been a good champion. But things are happening outside of it with the meta, with the nodes, with the defenders that Kabam is putting out that are making you more or less valuable in Guardian. I'm going to show this to you. Now, this is rank 3 versus a rank 3 bullseye here. My Guardian is SIG 100, SIG 100, 120. So more SIGs, going to be even better for critical resistance, bleed resistance, block proficiency. This was a meta in Battlegrounds that was making me very, very hesitant. If you had hit the defender's block, they were going to go unblockable. So I had a couple of missed parries there against Bullseye. That fight can go even better. You've seen it, hopefully, and I know I can do better too. So moving on, this is all going to be on the CCP server. These are all going to be against rank 4 defenders. At some point, I will take Guardian to rank 4 because the testing was going so absurdly well, but that has not happened yet. I'll call that when that happens. So this is a rank 3 Guardian, okay? One of my favorite counters to Jean Grey. I've just put out the how to defeat Jean Grey, how to make her easy. Of the non-reverse control immune champions, right? So we've got like Jack-o'-lantern and Ironheart. He is my favorite of those that are not immune to reverse control. There's a lot of reasons for it. I go in depth in that video, but as you're seeing right now, he is making this very, very simple and getting the fight over very, very quickly, which is a big deal when you're fighting Jean Grey, right? We talk about that in the video. Make sure you check that out. But you can see how easily he made that fight, handling the reverse controls, massive, massive damage, getting her shield down and beating her in 49 seconds. I was rank 3 into a rank 4. Continuing on with these new mutants that have defensive ass, right? Gentle is just very, very tanky, and he can slow things down because of his unstoppable mechanic. It's in the upper right-hand corner. Now, remember, this is on the CCP server. This isn't actually Battlegrounds, so I'm not getting the plus 50% spirit gauge on my relic, which would be really helpful to have used right then and there. So this fight can actually go even faster. The Hulkbuster relic is incredibly helpful to also what you're seeing here with Guardian, speccing into the single shock, I think, potency and duration. But that is what it is. You want to get that? You can see I have the 5-star on. At some point, I will switch over to the 6-star. And again, this is a rank 3, and a lot of these is about getting these fights over with before the threat can build up too much. I will be trying to well-time block the specials as much as possible. If you're not familiar with Guardian, you can see when I'm able to do that. You'll see the green call out on my side, and his power will actually grow. So a lot of these fights you're seeing with higher skill and more practice, you can actually speed them up because he will be getting power more fast. Now, here's where this is going to go from like, that was really cool to, oh my good God. I've taken him to rank 4 at this point. We'll go back to rank 3 for some other fights, but for the next 3 fights, he's rank 4. And it was necessary because these are rank 4 defenders as far as like the speed with will produce. Remember, Guardian can also block. He can also parry, well-timed block, non-contact to hit. Well, who's a champion that right now is really asking for that, right? And one of the biggest, baddest defenders in Arnim Zola, he puts the cowardice on you when you throw your special. Being able to well-time block him and knock him down whenever you want is massive to removing his sleep charges. I've also done the video on how to fight Zola as well too. We've shown a variety of options. Well, Guardian is a phenomenal one. So we're going in. And then another thing, and this is going to come up, it came up in the Jean fight, it comes up in a lot of these fights, is Guardian's loop is SP1 and SP2. His SP1 puts on a taunt, which is helping you control the fight again for speed and getting the openings that you want because you've got the taunt on the defender, creating the AI situation where they are more likely to throw their specials, creating more speed, and again, openings that you want to have. The one thing I will point out is when you land your heavy, excuse me, when you throw your special 2, you're utilizing your armor up buff. So sometimes there's certain fights, like if you're going to fight a Havoc, make sure you throw your heavy before you throw your special 2. That way you've got 2 armor up buffs, because he does consume one of them for the shock off of his SP2. Now we're going in and fighting this Enchantress. Again, another champion where the longer the fight lasts, the more her RNG, the more her spells, the more her nonsense, right, comes online. So if you can get it over fast, if you can get it over quickly, you are in a significantly better situation, not just in Battlegrounds, but in Questing and War, in Wheel of Fate, all the things, right? Just get this fight over, get me out of here. And as you can see, we are utilizing that. We are utilizing our Striker, which is putting the shock vulnerability on. We're able to get to our special 2, and she's done. She's done. This is a rank 4 versus a rank 4. Hold the block so she doesn't do any of her nonsense, and she's absolutely done. I think this is another like 47 second fight. So think about this so far. We've taken out Jean Grey, we've taken out Gentle, we've taken out Zola, we've taken out Enchantress, we've taken out Bullseye. How about Sentinel? No, not kidding. And here's one of the things why I was mentioning the armor ups is at some point you're going to see me really working on well-timed blocking these specials of Sentinel in order to get the power, right? We've talked about that. If you well-time block that, you can see I'm trying. There, I pulled it off. Got the perfect block, and the parry gave us power, which again helps you get into your cycle. Because with Guardian and these shorter fights or Battleground length, these aren't really small health pools anymore. We're getting up to like 400,000, 450,000, but it's SP1 into SP2. You can see I tried it there to get the well-timed block, and as a result, I got armor broken. So right now I was thinking, I was like, well, I'm gonna leave this in, see how this plays out so I can talk to you all and help you through this. Is I now need to make sure I wait until the armor up buff comes back, which is why you saw me pull back right there. Now I'm gonna go in and beat up this Sentinel. Make sure you've thrown your Striker at least once, get the energy vulnerability up, and then your shock will do even more damage. Again, remember, these 3 fights was a rank 4 Guardian against a rank 4 Defender, and these times were all, I think, about 49 seconds, okay? Now we're back to a rank 3. So this is what a rank 3 can do, and we're gonna go back to those mutants. And, you know, I did the best tech champions, and I was being very honest with there, and I had him in kind of like the second tier, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And I talked about him at length because I really love this champion. He's the first champion I ever seriously tried to cover on my channel. I did a terrible job, but I knew he was really, really good. So there's a little bit of nostalgia for me, a champion that I've always kind of wanted to rank up and utilize, and have kind of pushed it a little bit. And here's the thing. Is I saw a comment, and I did see your comment. I appreciate it. If you know if it's you and you're like, hey, you might be doing stocks up on Guardian, and I appreciate that little extra nudge, because one of the things I don't want to do is I'm okay like in a top 10 showing my bias or something like that, or when I'm doing like a stocks up video, I want to be really transparent with you all. And he's not good for Onslaught, and he's not good for Betsy Braddock, Captain Britain, and those are 2 of the big bad mutant defenders, right? And he's not good for them, and that's because of his shock and energy resistance of Onslaught. But you did get me to start really thinking about how good he is for varieties, and so thank you. It was comments like that. This is one of the many reasons I enjoy reading the comments. That you really brought that to my attention, made me like, you know what, I'm gonna start testing this. I showed a lot of this to Illuminati, and they're like, dude, this is really impressive. All right, against Mr. Sinister there, you can see it's a simple SP1 and SP2, and because of the taunt off of Guardian, I was a little worried about it, and then I did the fight, and I realized Mr. Sinister is immune to taunt, so it helps you. The first special one, not really that big a deal, right? Because he still doesn't have the debuffs to throw on you, and then by the time it becomes a potential problem, you're up to your special 2, and you've just destroyed Mr. Sinister. Here against Domino, the couple things I want to point out is when Guardian's ability accuracy is reduced by like a passive. It's really interestingly written. He puts a shock on the defender, so that shock was on Domino, and additionally, Guardian's special 2, I didn't even know this. It wasn't until I went back to do research for this video. His special 2 cannot be evaded by mutants. You can really see a lot in Guardian that's been like power crept a little bit more powerfully or implemented in champions that have come out since. The thing is that he's got a lot of them, and it's just really interesting to see that in his kit. We can talk about that another time. Going in here against Weapon X. Again, I love using my Weapon X. I use him offensively a lot, but people have recognized he's a great dual threat in Battlegrounds. He's a tough defender. If he clips you, you got problems, and we're going to be able to go in. And remember, Weapon X heals back, but he heals up hit damage. He does not heal up secondary damage, red numbers, damage over time, that sort of thing. And honestly, yeah, well, it doesn't matter. He wouldn't be able to heal it back up anyways. But we're going to go in, just kind of utilize his rage stacks against him, throw our special 1, throw our special 2. We've got our force field charges, and we are going to throw our massive special 2. And you see, remember, we're back down to a rank 3 Guardian. So a lot of these matchups, it doesn't matter. He doesn't need it. For the speed against Zola, I don't know if he really needed it against Enchanters, to be honest. It's just I had already taken him to rank 4 by the time that fight had happened. And then against Sentinel, he does need to be even ranks for that speed against Sentinel, and he definitely needs to be even ranks for that speed against Zola. And so you tell me, you tell me. I think stocks up. I'm very intrigued and interested in taking mine to rank 4 now too. Again, I told you, I have the built-in bias and nostalgia for him. He could be a decent defender with all the mutants out there now that can like nullify his armor up buff and stuff. That's what gives him the auto block chance on the other side. And there's a lot of cosmic champions, right, with the armor shatter and the armor breaks as well too. But he's not as much of a dual threat like defender as he once was. But I do believe fully that his attacking prowess, of course, in questing, in tough quests, right, with all this block proficiency, critical damage rating, a lot of that's in his sig. So keep that in mind. And then, of course, in battlegrounds, the pool of champions, Bullseye, Zola, Sentinel, right? Domino, Enchantress, Gentle, Jean Grey. And then, in case it wasn't abundantly clear, again, well-timed block of the non-contact attacks. So not that Negasonic Change Warrior is like the worst defender in the game, but I know I've been trapped by her before. And to have a champion that you can just draft and has that attacker pool, it's pretty darn good. That matchup pool. As usual, let me know what you think we got right. Let me know what you think we got wrong. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.